Hi guys, it's Nasir. I've been putting this video after a long time, and somehow I have finished a couple of books. Then I have not put up the review of those books. But the one important book that I have read today, I finished it today, is 100 Years of Solitude. I really had to struggle with this book for 3 months because this is most difficult book that I have read in my life, and the book that I had always eyed on for about a decade, because when I was studying in university time, I bought the book and I couldn't read it. The other book, other copy that I bought, I couldn't read it. So somehow I couldn't read the copies I was reading. But I just buckled my belts, and then I thought that I need to just read this book, since I have grasped so many things, so many stories, and the help that I found out from other source that I had was of audio reading. So I just audio read this book, and but in the meanwhile I was also reading the book. So it was really a easy task to do. I was just looking at it, and then the book that I read, it's you know it has so many complex of characters, and initially it was so puzzling, so I just downloaded a lot of reviews from YouTube, and written reviews as well as video reviews. So finally I finished it, and before I ju- just jump into the story, I just want to read the last review that I have the written review that I have read, written down. Let me just read for you. Finished this book after so much of a struggle with timelines. The complex characters, sorry, the complex characters and structure of the book put me in a mortal struggle to relate to the incidents and accidents of the story. There were times when I kept going with the story, hooked me. That story hooked me. In other times, I was left astray, unfounded. My experiment of reading this masterpiece might not be the same as others, since I have not read magical realism before, but I must say that this book requires total attention while reading it. I just finished it today. It's 7th August 2021. However, I just want to make you understand the story. This story is about um, 7 generations, and the protagonist of this book is, it's there written at the front. This family tree is given. So Jose Arcadio Buendia, the name after Buendia is like the family it carries forward, and he marries the cousin of his own, and her name is Ursula uh, Agrian. And Ursula is actually thinking that I have married my cousin, so if there will be a birth of a child, that birth will have complexities, and he had vision that the birth of the child will carry a tail of a pig, and this is how she had suspected. So actually there was a game there, and Jose Arcado Buendia went and won the match, and the other person who who lost it, he said that you are important, and he just had a swearing words with him. So um, Jose Arcadia Buendia killed the guy, and he went and came back, and then he bedded with his wife, and they they kind of consummated, and there started a family, after the birth of two sons, um, Jose Arcadio and uh, um, Aureliano. Okay, Arcado too, and Jose uh, Aureliano. So they had two daughters as well, Rebecca as well as Amrita. Amrita was their own daughter, and Rebecca was adopted one. So, and actually, the storyline is like this. Uh, there are gypsies who are coming in Macondo, and Macondo actually was built by a dream of Jose Arcadio, because when the when they had a when he committed murder, the ghost of that guy was coming in his dreams. So not dreams, but in reality, and they left off to some other place in Colombia, and near the swamp they found a village, and they established their family there. So this is how it goes on. So the gypsies were Malcandes was one of the gypsy who was and he was bringing a lot of material for Jose Arcadio Buendia. So he was bewitched by the gypsy, and he was like experimenting new things um, in his town. So I mean, eventually, Jose Arcadio Buendia went mad, and he was like tied with the tree, and his sons started family, and one of the son, Arcad, Arcadio went away with the gypsies, and Ursula also went after him, and then she came back. He couldn't come back, and um, then they had a um, they started up a journey now. So um, Arcadio actually met a gypsy woman whose name was Pella Ternera, and Pella Ternera gave birth to this son, and who was also named as Arcadio. So she couldn't keep the child, so she gave it to her parents, Jose Arcadio and Buendia, and then Ursula. So this is how the family tree falls down, and actually after that, Palatine was also bedded with Aureliano. Aureliano didn't marry uh, him, sorry, her, just because he was interested in some other one. So Aureliano was interested in politics, and then he met a girl called Remedios, and Remedio was his legal wedded wife. So, and but he was so much womanizer, so he had so many other women to bed with. So in sum total, all of them were 17, and then 17 sons were also named after Aurelianos. So this is how the complexity of the characters start. So there is this one part of it which is very smooth sailing, the other is like complexity of characters. That's why I was lost in the labyrinth as well. So the journey is you know there are so many incidents and accidents, and eventually all the family has been stretched forward, and then as it comes to the end, actually um, the this family, Buendia family, was also incestuous. So um, when the seventh generation passed, there was this Armilla Ursula, and Arcadio. All right. So actually, this they were aunts and nephew, and actually this Arcadio was the nephew of Amrita Asla. So what happened was, like, they, out of not knowing that particular thing, they bred a child, and that child was you know born with pigtail. So the prophecy of Ursula got fulfilled. So there was a enormous rain. Intermittently, there was a rain there before, but intermittently, there were rains. So there was a rain in the um, village, sorry, town, and then the child was whom they named Aureliano. uh, he was eaten by ants, and then um, the Armilla Ursula was she died of giving birth, and the last character was left, and that was Orleano, and Orleano was also, he got mad, and then he was again uh, wiped out from the earth. That's the story. I mean, there are so many things that I have not covered, just because the story is pretty, you know, um, complex. But I'm really fascinated by this thought that I finished the book, and eventually, it was my, utmost desire to finish this book. I probably thought that I'll not finish it in my lifetime, but there are two books that I wanted to finish, as I'm a bibliophile, and I've kind of rather biblical as well. So the one of the book was God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. The other is this classic masterpiece, but I finished it in 3 months. Well, I'm really, exhilarated. I'm flabbergasted. I'm completely, um, you know, amazed at myself that I finished it. Thank you, and I'm sorry for mumbling right in the middle of this, narration, because I am not used to it. Thank you very much.